Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Fathers. We left off having met Malia Gere, and having come to know a little bit more about cast as a whole. We've not made much headway as far as the central mystery, but that's what today's for, hopefully. But no, isn't what it needs to be.
Hi. Uh-huh. Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
Oh, let's ask you a few more questions.
Could I ask you some more questions?
Of course. I also find our dialogue stimulating.
Do you know Malia Getty?
Should I?
But she referred me to your museum.
Many have read about our museum in the newspapers, Mr. Knight.
That's a good point.
Alright.
So, how did voodoo come to New Orleans?
After the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed regulations. Slaves were permitted to gather. The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves. Around the same time, a slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans. Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white owners who were fleeing from the revolt.
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight, if only in the form of a communal bond.
Very understandably.
Among the first meeting places were the Bayou Saint John and the shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The early voodoos were heavy snake worshippers, worshipping the one they called the Great Zombie.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed to forbid slave gatherings except in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons and the place, Congo Square. The slaves and free people of color gathered to dance simulations of their voodoo dances right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continued to meet in private for the real thing.
Understandably.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
Okay.
Tell me more about current voodoo.
There are many voodooians in New Orleans. They often do business selling gris-gris, telling fortunes, providing luck, and occasionally misfortune. Perhaps you would like to meet a voodooian. We refer those who seek a deeper experience with voodoo to a local practitioner, Magentia Moonbeam.
Sure, I'd love to meet her.
She lives on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine. I will call her and tell her you might stop by.
Great, thanks. Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
There were actually two Marie Laveaux, mother and daughter. Most people thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire. When the Widow Paris began to practice, there were many Voodooans in the city. By 1830, she was Voodoo Queen of all New Orleans.
We do like an earnest history lesson with our video games.
Goodbye, Dr. John.
Come back again.
I most certainly will. Okay. Let's see what new things we can get here.
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so. My name is...
Wait? Gabriel Knight?
You're too quick for me.
Actually, Dr. John told me. You have come to the right place, Mr. Knight. Tell me how I can help.
Okay.
Dr. John tells me you're a voodoo practitioner of some kind.
Yes, I am a voodoo a voodoo priestess.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Seeker.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
My practice is mainly selling charms and potions with magic power, such as gree-gree and voodoo oils. You know, everything from unrequited love to wandering spouses to winning a lawsuit. But my spells and charms are powerful, and they work.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Why, that has nothing to do with me and my clientele. But I can tell you that you should stay as far from it as possible.
A bit late for that one.
There is badness there. Very bad.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans is the center of voodoo practice in the United States.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve? It is the greatest night of the voodoo year. There is always a traditional conclave on St. John's Eve. Most of our voodoo churches these days hold functions in the church hall. But in the old days, they had ceremonies out in the wild, and they wore animal masks and had a huge bonfire and dancing. I used to go when I was an apprentice. Sometimes in the swamp, you know, Bayou St. John. Sometimes at the Lake Pontchartrain.
Okay.
Do you have any idea what Caprice Saint-Gare means?
No. No, I don't.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Oh, yes. She was the first of the great voodoo queens.
Nothing more in the matter?
Tell me about the animal masks.
I saw them used once or twice when I was younger, but you don't see them much anymore. They are too close.
Too close to what?
Just bad karma.
Have you ever heard the word Schottenjäger?
I don't know anything about that.
Give me an example of a gris-gris.
All right. Here's an old one. Take a lodestone and some brimstone to a crossroads at midnight. Light the brimstone with a match, and a spirit will come and give you advice in gambling.
Tell me about yourself.
Yes? What would you like to hear?
What kind of people come to see you?
Seekers after the truth, such as yourself.
How'd you get into this business?
I trained in the voodoo arts for many years with the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Who's she?
You have never heard of her? For shame! I can see you know little of the world of magic.
I'm beginning to get that impression, yes.
And what else do you
Do
do?
you do anything else?
I am a voodoo yen, and that is plenty. It takes much spiritual effort.
How many voodoo yens are there?
No one knows exactly. Many practice in secret. There are probably hundreds. But of course the level and the power of the voodoo yens differ greatly, depending on their training and natural gifts.
Tell me anything at all.
I haven't always lived in New Orleans. I came here from Kansas as a young woman.
Okay.
I can't think of anything.
Very well.
Does this mean anything to you?
These are magic symbols. Deep magic.
Really? Have you seen them before?
No?
Then how do you know they're magic symbols?
Seeker, my eyes are unveiled to see truly that which is in front of me.
Thanks. Tons.
Alright, what about these?
Do these symbols mean anything to you?
Ah, the voodoo code. It is very secret, yes. I studied it with my mentor, the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Great. Can you tell me what it says?
Let's see. Well, some of it is nonsense, I'm afraid. Whoever wrote this wasn't very good.
That's all right. Just tell me what it says.
It starts with a D and a J, and then... Okay, this part makes sense. It says, conclave tonight, bring... then there's more nonsense. F-W-E-T-K-A-S-H. Well, that last bit might mean cash. Fresh cash? It doesn't make much sense.
That's okay, thanks.
It's still a lead, and I do appreciate it.
DJ Conclave. K-A-S-H. It's a start.
I'm happy I could help.
Anything else I can possibly lean into here? Unlikely.
Well, I guess I'll be gone now.
As you wish.
Okay, let's see what more we can learn
Hello there. Got a sec?
here.
Yeah? What can I do for you?
Mind if I pick your brain a minute?
Go ahead. These folks ain't in no hurry.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Sure. She was the voodoo queen of New Orleans. A powerful voodooine and a powerful sorceress. Believers still come to her tomb, you know. They write secret marks on the walls, leaving offerings there. Then there's the tourists. They come out of curiosity. As a matter of fact, that big Dr. John fella from the Voodoo Museum, he's here at least once today. But Marie Laveau's tomb ain't the only one the believers visit and make markings and leave offerings at.
Okay.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
I don't know what you talking about.
Very fair.
You said there were other marked tombs?
Yep. I seen bull hearts left on tombs and a nest of vulture feathers, plates of peas and corn green. Animal parts, human parts even, it looked like. Male parts, if you get my meaning. And this at one of the great family crypts, mind you. Odd how them types just pick a spot and stick to it.
What other tombs?
No, I ain't one for naming names. Don't know how that sort of thing gets started. Why folks come to start leaving stuff at that one spot. But it happens all the same.
Okay. That'll be relevant later on. Probably with Miss Getty. Okay.
Say, do you think there's anything you can do with these patterns?
What do you need?
Is there any way you can reconstruct the whole pattern from these partials?
Pattern is probably circular, and there's some repetition in the elements. What is this from, anyway?
You'd never believe me.
Okie dokie. Well, there's... I think there's an area missing. If you could get me any more of these...
I'll see what I can do.
Well, I do happen to have more of these. What a coincidence.
I have another one of those patterns.
Really? Let's see. Yeah, this is great. I think there's enough overlap now. I'll give it my best shot. I'll show you what I come up with tomorrow.
Great. I appreciate it.
Okay. So that's definitely the progress we needed with the hint toward the square. Oh, okay. That's all we needed for the day, it seems. Okay, the same nightmare again. Some of the ritual dagger. Drawn to Boxer's abode, I sought there to conspire. It was in the city of the dead that I found my heart's desire. Okay. So, start with messages, read the paper.
I'm so glad you could join us today. I've got messages when you want them. I also checked out Kazanu. There are multiple listings in the white pages. I got the page, but you'll have to figure out the right one.
Great, thanks.
Okay. So, let's do this bit by bit.
Now, are you gonna tell me what happened yesterday with Malia Getty, or is it just too embarrassing? Don't tell me you actually got to see her.
Are the stars out tonight?
Gabriel, you don't seriously think she's interested? She can have any man in the city. You know, men with bank accounts.
There's more than a bank
You
account
underestimate
involved.
the Knight family's tragic poet samurai appeal. When Daddy married Mom, she was the hottest catch in town.
I always suspected there was something fishy in your family tree. But seriously, I think you should be careful.
Grace.
I'm serious. I don't know why, but I have a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach about this.
It's called jealousy, my dear. And you're right. You should be jealous of Malia Getty, as should every woman on this planet.
Oh, never mind. I'll just fix these books. Your life is in your own slippery little hands.
The point is to get it into somebody else's hands. And soon.
Okay, so...
Somewhere there's a New Orleans phone book missing one of its C pages.
Okay. Let's start with messages.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Wasn't she a big voodoo queen before the Civil War?
That's right.
Well, you just heard everything I know about her.
Very fair.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
I'd really rather not hear about your sex life, Knight. Your pal Mosley called. He left a message that they're interrogating a suspect this morning, and you might want to be there.
Sounds fun.
Mm-hmm. I bet.
Do you have more messages for me?
That man from Germany called again, Wolfgang Ritter. Now he's claiming to be a relative of yours. I took down his number. If you change your mind and want to give him a call back, just ask me for it.
We'll dial back to that
Do you
one.
have more messages for me?
I've given everything to you.
Okay.
Could you do...
Sure. Okay.
Times Picayune, dated June 20, 1993. Gabriel scans over an uninteresting front page. Under the cultural events section, there's a notice about a lecture on African religions. The lecture is at Tulane University. Gabriel's horoscope for the day. An evil eye is upon you. Change course before it's too late.
Lighten up.
Alright.
I'm going out.
Uh-huh.
So let's dial back to Jackson Square, because we did have a follow-up here.
Gabriel cannot interrogate that. The artist is an A.
So we'll just talk.
How's it going today?
What? Oh, it's only you. Man, I have been jumpy all day. That pattern of yours really freaked me out for some reason. There's just something creepy.
You finished it?
Yeah, and you're welcome to it. Here.
Wow, this is great.
Uh-huh. Just don't, like, blow up the planet with it or something, okay?
I didn't mean to upset you.
Ah, forget it. I'm probably just being stupid. Do your thing with it, and good luck.
Much appreciated. So our main leads are the phone number, the university, and our suspect. The suspect might be best tackled later on. Some of the university. Give some generalist information.
It looks like the lecture is just starting. Gabriel decides to record the session.
Voodoo is the tribal religion of Africa, but the name Voodoo is actually a banner heading under which resides an entire body of distinct tribal belief systems. The word voodoo may sound familiar to you. What is known in the States as voodoo is actually an amalgamation of African religious systems, voodoo, and European religions, primarily Catholicism. All of the subcults of African voodoo have certain things in common. The most important is the worship of a pantheon of spirits instead of the single deity that the Christian and Muslim systems have. Some of these spirits are elementals. Some relate to specific tasks or places. Some represent important tribal leaders who have died. This spirit worship is what makes voodoo so easily adaptable. With all those spirits, it's no problem to add a few more. Say, for example, the Virgin Mary. At the height of tribal Africa, warfare was common. One tribe would conquer another, and the Loa, important in the conqueror's tribal system, would be adopted readily into the conquered tribe's Loa pantheon. In this way, many of the voodoo cults spread and mingled throughout tribal Africa, enriching the belief system and causing innumerable offshoots. The basis for the voodoo religion seems to be as old as man himself. It has much in common with many early pagan practices: animal totems, sympathetic magic, elemental spirits in the trees, the heavens, the bodies of the sick. Africa is believed by many to be the cradle of the human race. Some of the voodoo Loa may be as old as the Garden of Eden itself. We still can't explain some of the real power of these primal religions. And note, I said primal, not primitive. There are African Bokors who baffle our scientists with their supernatural powers. Now, let's discuss the elements of voodoo.
Fascinating guy.
In voodoo, the spirits are called the Loa. During a voodoo ceremony, celebrants are possessed by the Loa. This is called being ridden. The human worshiper is seen as a horse, and the Loa as the divine horseman. A person being ridden by a Loa takes on the characteristics of that spirit and becomes, in effect, merely a vessel for the more powerful entity. Some of the older, original Africa Loa include Dambara, the great serpent god; Ezruli, the mistress of love; Papa Nebo, or Gede, the lord of death; Agwe, the spirit of water; Legba, spirit of the crossroads; and the cruelest and most dangerous, Ogun Badagri, the lord of destruction.
Ugh. Oh, I gotta get more sleep at night.
A tribe-specific Loa can have as much or more power as the more widely worshipped Loa. For instance, a particular tribe might revere highly the Loa of an ancestor who was a legendary hunter or politician. Voodoo temples are called Houndfors. Their priests, Houngan or Bokors. Their priestesses, Mama Loa. In a voodoo home form, there's a ritual circle marked by a center pole called a poto-bitan. The ritual circle is prepared with a veve, a pattern of symbols. Each tribe's veve is slightly different, consisting of complex symbols that identify their special role. During ritual conclaves, initiates dance under the supervision of a vokor and a mamaloa, or head priestess. The use of totems or animal masks and markings was not uncommon in the original African ceremonies. Now, though, all but the oldest sects have abandoned this practice. Ritual objects used during the conclaves include the ritual gourd or asson, the ritual knife or kubasa.
That knife gives me the chills.
The ritual whip or fouet cache. And the ritual coffin or seke madule. These items are often optional, called for by the mamaloa for specific magical rituals. The mamaloa is the most powerful figure in any voodoo sect. Voodoo is a truly matriarchal system. Even the Bokor knows his power is limited. Mamaloa is the supreme woman. She butterflies, fireflies.
Oh, Mr. Knight.
Firelight. No, what is it? Gabriel?
What? I can't see.
Gabriel, get in.
Can't. It's too small for me.
You must get in, Gabriel.
It's not mine. Too small.
Hide, Gabriel, hide.
No, no, let me out. Help.
Young man, the lecture is over.
Oh my God.
Gabriel scans the bulletin board. Greek night at the Alpha Psi Omega frat house. It looks like it took place sometime last spring.
We head back there and ask some more questions of the lecturer? I, for one, am interested. Even if Gabriel is
Are
not.
you a student?
No. My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Well, you have walked into my private office, Mr. Knight. I hope you have something worthwhile to do here. If you figure it out, let me know.
Gabriel cannot
Mind if I pick your brain?
Not if it will get you out of my office. You already sat through my lecture on the subject, Mr. Knight. Perhaps next time you could stay awake and learn something.
Very fair.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I've read about them in the papers. I must admit to some interest. But according to the newspapers, the voodoo aspect is faked, so I haven't really pursued it. You know how Americans, especially Hollywood, treats voodoo. I'm sure there are many so-called practitioners out there that have no idea what they're doing or the power they're playing with.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I find it interesting to see the occasional fragment of voodoo practices in the everyday culture of New Orleans.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It's June 23rd, the feast day of St. John the Baptist. But June 23rd has been a sacred day since the earliest times. Ancient sun worshippers used to roll a flaming wheel down a hill to celebrate the sun's descent on that day.
A burning wheel? Huh. Do you have any idea what Capri Saint Coeur means?
Cabri San Cour. Yes, I do. It's a Haitian term, I believe. It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns.
As in a female goat?
No, as in a human sacrifice. Sacrifices in voodoo are usually of the animal variety. Chickens, wolves, goats. If the gods demand a goat without horns, it means a human being.
Good to know.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
While I find the colloquial bastardizations of voodoo somewhat interesting from a sheerly intellectual point of view, there's not a lot of relation between people like Laveau and true voodoo practices.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
As I said in my lecture, which I assume you actually listened to, is that animal masks, totems, are used extensively in most African voodoo religions.
Tell me about bebés.
If you'd taken notes during my lecture, you wouldn't have to ask.
Fair enough.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
I'm afraid I can't help you there, Mr. Knight.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
It's very rare. Most voodoo practices do not include human sacrifice as a matter of record, but it is theoretically possible if that's the gods' demand. For example, one of the chants I had translated for me from a Haitian ritual went like this. Mistress Azuli, come and aid us. If a cock is demanded, we will give it. If a bull will suffice, behold it. But if a goat without horns is required for sacrifice, oh, where will we find one? Azuli is the gentlest of Loa, so they call on her for mercy. But I have seen grown and powerful Hungan tremble before a possession by one of the more violent Loa, such as Papaniba. Clearly, they are afraid that something of the sort will be ordered, or that the Loa will simply take it for themselves.
Tell me about yourself.
All right, Mr. Knight, I'm 35, a fully tenured professor at this university, as well as a fellow at Cambridge. My doctorate was obtained at Syracuse. Yes, Syracuse, in religious studies. I'm an agnostic, but I find human belief systems fascinating. I specialize in African religions because I grew up there. My father was a Protestant missionary. And I am heterosexual when I practice sex at all, which isn't very often. Any other questions?
No.
Fine.
What a bit of information. Okay, much appreciated.
Gabriel doesn't need.
I didn't think so, but it wasn't to let me.
Gabriel does.
Did not. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, do keep in touch.
Alright. That's a good amount of information here. Okay.
Got a second, officer?
What?
You don't want to know anything about either of these.
I'm here to...
Not necessarily necessary to keep getting explicit permission, but I feel like it's important to do so.
You son of a... Give me back my bag.
Now, Knight.
Sure. Thanks for letting me borrow it.
Yeah? Well, you borrow it again in your history. Now, about today. Glad you made it. It'll give you a feel for how I am in action. You know, handling suspects, that sort of thing.
I'm sure it'll be invigorating. Who is this guy anyway?
Calls himself Crash. He's been an informant for us before, mostly helping us bust small-time pimps and dealers trying to break into the territory. Well, he's been staying invisible during these murders, but we picked him up this morning at Jackson Square. Pushing coke. He knows something. Call it detective's instinct.
Detective's instinct. Got it.
All right, Crash. I want to hear about these murders. You been present at the so-called voodoo ritual?
I don't know nothing. I told you.
Come on now, you can tell me. Do you know anyone who's been to these rituals?
Look, I can't say nothing. You gotta let me go, man.
You relax. No one knows you're here. The men who picked you up were plainclothesmen.
Plain clothes, like you could fool them. They know I'm here. They've got ears all over the city. They know everything.
Now, who are they, Crash? Are they the ones doing the murders?
Let me go.
If you're so worried about being detained, start talking. Now, you tell me what I want to hear, and maybe I can get you in the witness protection program. But you have to earn it.
Witness protection? Are you crazy? Don't make me laugh. Jesus, just let me out of here.
Now, come on. Who's behind these murders, Crash? Why are the victims all members of the underworld?
By now they know I'm here. It's different when I'm supposed to come here. Or if I can send a message. Tell them I didn't say nothing.
Christ, he's frickin' useless. Take him back to detain him, would you, Tony?
I want to talk more with this Crash.
I tell you, times like this, I'd kill for truth, sir, but damn the civil rights.
Can I quote you on that?
Huh? Hell no. Damn! We only keep him for 24 hours. Tomorrow morning, I might have to let him go. Sorry it wasn't more exciting. For the book, I mean. Maybe you can punch it up some. You know, what do they call that? Fiction. That's it.
It certainly is. I'll see what I can do. Can I ask you about some... Do you know any...
Is she that redheaded chick that works? Then I
didn't think so.
sure as hell ain't going well. There's a lot of brakes being applied in different areas of the investigation. We're getting some real info on the victims now, and they're not exactly upstanding citizens. I was hoping to get more out of Crash, but he's scared shitless. We'll have to let him go tomorrow morning.
Do you know any...
What?
Bebes. They're ritualistic patterns used in voodoo. You know, like those marks we found around the body.
You know what the department says about that, Knight. That voodoo stuff is fake.
Yeah, well, they're wrong. These bebes...
Look, just stop worrying about them marks. I don't think they're relevant.
If you say so.
I'm gonna hit the road.
Ciao, baby.
Gabriel should go to the counter to talk to the...
Can I ask...
I'm sorry, sir.
The building is...
I suppose you need more than just your permission to actually go and visit the detention. Indeed. All into your time. Alright. So now it's...
Phew.
I wish you wouldn't wear that coat.
Okay, so next thing we can probably do is try to figure out which Kazunu is correct.
That doesn't work. Those
Okay. Let's have the 1, 2, 3, 7. Because that'll be the harder one to remember. Yeah, 7, 0, 2, 0, and 8, 0 for the other ones.
Yeah, what do you want?
Sorry. I think I have a wrong number.
Good.
Right, we turn it on first.
Hello?
Hello? I'm calling from the Dixieland drugstore. We have an order for you.
Castro, be quiet. Who is this?
I'm a friend of the owner.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. So it is Kazunu A. Also, need to follow up with getting the phone number of...
Can I get that phone number for Wolfgang Ritter?
Sure, I'll give it to you when we're done talking.
Okay.
Here's that phone number.
Wonderful. Let's just check the other two numbers out of curiosity.
Hello.
Hi, is this the Kazunu residence?
Yes. What can I do for you?
Do you or does anyone in your family patronize the Dixieland drugstore?
I'm a busy man. What are you selling?
Nothing.
Good. Goodbye.
Hello, Kazanu residence?
Hi, I was wondering if you could help me.
Yeah?
A woman in the Dixieland drugstore dropped her purse today, and the name Kazanu was inside it.
Dixieland drugstore? Never heard of it. Sorry.
Yes, we definitely need something more reliable in that regard. Can't be calling freely.
the number written on the note is 4909 324 3333.
Okay, let's try that.
Gabriel never has been.
Wait, oh, hold on.
Guten Tag, Sie haben Schloss Ritter erreicht?
I'm looking for Wolfgang Ritter.
Ja, einen Moment.
Yeah, is this Gabriel on the phone?
This is Gabriel Knight. Why are you calling me, Mr. Ritter?
I have been having premonitions of great danger for you, Gabriel. You must leave New Orleans this very day.
What the hell you talking about?
It is hard to explain on the phone. I have had senses, feelings about you. It took me a long time to have you tracked down. I had a sense that Heinz had a grandson, but until these dreams started, I did not know if I should contact you.
You say you're related to my grandfather?
Yes, Heinz was my brother. There is much about the family that you should know, Gabriel. Come to Schloss Ritter in Rittersberg, West Germany. It is our family home. I will tell you everything when you come. You must come immediately. You are in great danger there.
Look, I appreciate the family spirit and all, but frankly I don't know you from Adam, and I'm not going to fly off to Germany even if I could afford it.
Gabriel, please. If you won't listen, at least let me send you something. It is a journal from one of your ancestors. Promise me you will read it.
Well, I'm pretty busy.
Please, Gabriel, you are the last of our line. I am too old to carry on. You are our last hope. Please, for your family, read the journal.
All right, I'll look at it.
Good. Now be careful and come to me as soon as you can. Goodbye.
Let's see when that arrives.
See you later.
Don't hurt.
So we need to solve a bit more about Casino.
Hi.
Uh-huh.
Can I ask you... It's important that I talk to Madame Kazan.
I can't tell you.
Well, we tried.
I found out what Cabri sans corps means. How did you know about human sacrifice?
I never said those words, monsieur. You must have heard them from someone else.
Have you ever heard of Marie Laveau?
Marie? She's somebody from the old days. One of those folk tales. All the tourists eat it up, non?
Do you know anything about Vives?
No, sir. Never heard of them.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Like the ones in the voodoo rituals they do for the tourists?
Right.
I used to sell a few as souvenirs. The only one left is Willie Jr. over there. The old crocodile. Well, he's sort of a mascot now, yeah.
About Willie Jr., would you be willing to let him go?
Maybe. For $100.
$100? You've got to be kidding.
Me and Willie Jr. very close now. I could part with him for less.
So we'll definitely need... We need $100 to get the mask, and that's probably how we get... access to Casino.
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
Okay, so anything we can learn here.
Could I ask you some more questions?
Of course.
You're sure you have... Do you know anything about Vives?
I believe they have something to do with Haitian voodoo, but that is not really my area.
Alright. So nothing new happened here.
Goodbye, Dr. John.
Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
There's been some emphasis on Lake Pontchartrain. But nothing... Doesn't appear to be anything new. Actually, hold on. That seems a little bit different.
The grass has a matted... The marks are part of the grass. It's very large. Gabriel. The marks are... There are marks in the grass, as though some heavy wire object had been set there. Gabriel is...
Okay, hold on.
Those two objects would have... Gabriel carefully uses the tweezers to take the small iridescent scale.
I think it's a snake scale, but it beats the hell out of me what kind.
But otherwise, we have nothing new here. I think the Grandmother's house probably won't help without... learning more from... Wolfgang.
Mr. Knight, how nice to see you.
My pleasure, I'm sure.
Please, be seated.
Could I ask you...
I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved Grimwald? She's a python, you know. Quite deadly in the wrong hands. I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize and handle snakes.
About Grimwald.
What about her?
Would you consider giving me one of Grimwald's scales?
No, I couldn't do that. You might do some gree-gree of your own, no? One must be very careful with such things. Hair clippings, nail parings, and snake scale.
Where'd you get Grimwald?
She belonged to a traveling reptile show. She was being terribly mistreated, so I offered to buy her. She's named after a spirit guide I had once. The spirit Grimwald was a very powerful female snake priestess in Egyptian times.
Grimwald doesn't sound Egyptian.
I only know what the spirits tell me. Monsieur, I am sure they know better than we.
How'd you learn to handle Grimwald?
I told you, a great voodoo queen taught me. She learned from Marie Laveau herself.
Oh, fascinating. How about showing me how you handle Grimwald?
Really? You would like to see me dance, perhaps?
That would be swell.
I won't make you wait, Monsieur Knight. No matter what you see, do not be frightened.
I'll give it my best shot.
They are truly inspiring, isn't it?
That's certainly one word for it. Well, I guess I'll be gone now.
Open your mind.
You know, Kazunu was still not really working out.
Hello, beauty.
Really?
I don't have any more messages, but...
Got a minute? Could you do so? I have a pattern I need you to research.
How interesting. What is it?
It's a reconstruction of the tracings they found around the murder victims. The ones done in flour and blood.
Ugh. You shouldn't carry this kind of thing around. Who knows what these symbols mean?
Well, wear your evil banishing gloves if you want. But check it out for me, would you?
I'll see what I can find out. Anything else?
Not presently.
Okay.
Okay. I really should pay more attention to the big part of this, shouldn't I? 6170. Because Cousin was our main focus on the day. We'll throw on everything else. I think it's 6170, but I should really double check. Yes. Okay. Oh, nope.
Cajun Critters Animal Clinic. This is Melissa.
Do you have a Madame Kazunu as a client?
Madame Kazanu? Sure, I know her. She's not here right now, though.
Really? She told me she'd be there. Would you happen to have her address by any chance?
Yes, but I'm not sure I should give it out. Who are you again?
Yeah, the name drop happens most.
Castro? Her little doggy? Oh, he's so sweet. Well, I guess if you know Castro, it's okay. Her address is 345 Dauphine.
Thanks.
Okay. And there is our next sense of direction for the time being.
I'm going out.
Uh-huh.
It would be better to be...
Yes? Who is it? I am a good Catholic, young man. Take your evil influence elsewhere.
But I just have a few questions.
I can feel the evil eye. Go away. Yes. Gaston has...
Thanks.
What about Land Shark?
Land Shark?
You are no Bill Murray.
Please let me talk to you, Madame Cazeneuve.
I don't talk to strangers, young man.
Okay. So we need money for the mask.
Hey, Grace.
Oh.
Hey, kids.
Huh?
Bruno.
Speaking of money.
Gabe, pet. I just popped in to see if you're desperate enough to sell me that painting.
How much would you give me for it, Bruno?
Gabriel, don't you dare sell your father's painting.
We do kind of need the money that badly.
Stay out of this, Grace.
Ooh, you're serious? You'll let me have it?
Yeah, I'll let you have it, all right. How much for the painting?
Well, I could give you 100. That's all I can let go at the moment, you know. My fares are so tied up.
Gabriel, $100 for your father's painting?
Grace, let me deal with this.
It's a little bit to get through this, isn't it?
Fine, it's yours.
Gabriel!
Here's the 100.
You better take good care of this, Bruno. This is not just another of your hip art pieces, you know.
Really? Well, I fully intend to make the most of its display, though not for your sake, I'm sure. At least in my shop, there'll be a chance of someone actually seeing it. I can't believe I actually got it. Just wait until I show Sid.
I don't believe you!
It's just a painting, Grace. There are things I have to do.
Her frustration is understandable.
I've got some things.
Good luck.
But we are definitely at an impasse otherwise, aren't we?
Hi. Can I? Are you
Oh, you show me up.
I have $100. You still want to sell that crocodile mask?
That's $100, sure enough. The mask, it's yours, sir.
Much appreciated. I wish I didn't have to go quite as much to get it.
Careful it don't bite you now.
Yeah, thanks.
Don't you go forgetting your lagniappe? A free bottle of Master Gambling Oil.
The sign said I could get Lady Luck oil instead.
Well, I wasn't thinking a man as young as you would be needing that kind of remedying. But if you're having problems with your...
Oh, that's all right. Believe me, I don't need it. I'll just stick with this. Thanks, anyway.
Of course, it ain't none of my business if you do need it.
I don't need it.
Of course you don't.
Those two objects would... Gabriel doesn't want to put...
Yes.
I have... I've got some...
Castro.
Thank-
You have...
Please.
Hmm. So that's not the angle we need to actually get into Madame Casino's house.
There's not much...
Okay. Is there anything to do in the cathedral? There is not. Let's go with the square more conveniently. Okay, so there's a new stand. Oh, is there anything new happening in the cemetery anywhere? After that, that's every reasonable place to go where new things could happen. Hmm.
Malia.
Mr. Knight, what are you doing here?
My family's tomb is here.
Mine too.
I noticed. Subtle.
Well, Mr. Knight, if there's nothing else.
Don't go. I need to talk to you.
Whatever for.
I can't stop thinking about you. I've been in your thoughts too. I can see it in your eyes.
Mr. Knight, you don't know anything about me. I'm not in a position to get involved.
I've said that a million times myself, but this is different. I think we both know we can't fight it. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this.
I have so many obligations. My family is very traditional. You wouldn't understand.
Hey, I love tradition. I've seen Fiddler on the Roof 100 times.
This isn't a musical, Mr. Knight. We live in different worlds.
Look, I know you've got more money than God. Do you think I care? Do you think that's why I'm saying this?
No, I don't.
Why don't you come see my world? I have a little bookshop, St. George's on Bourbon.
I know.
See? I knew it. You're crazy about me, too. Come back tonight. Please. My world isn't so bad.
I'm sorry, but there's no place for someone like you in my life. Not now, not ever.
Damn it.
It came on a little bit strong there. More than a little bit strong, really. Okay, there are definitely... There are definitely things that are employing some poetic logic here. Though it is definitely less heavy than normal.
I'll take this hair gel. You never know when you'll need a touch-up.
I need to play the part of a Catholic priest to someone who espouses being a good Catholic.
I'm out of here.
We need to do more with the black shirt? Wow. Okay, I missed an item in the cathedral.
That doesn't seem to...
The things you can overlook. I definitely need to avoid playing pointedly games solo, I think.
Nothing on that. Nothing on...
Well, you never know.
Partially for having a second brain. For noticing or considering details. Also, it definitely does not help having done things out of relevant order. Having things sitting in your inventory for prolonged periods of time. Never knowing when you're going to use them until you only have one piece of the puzzle.
All right, but this is private. The things I do for my art.
Who is it?
It's Father McLaughlin to see you.
Father McLaughlin, you say? You must be new in the parish. I'm so pleased to meet you, Father. Do come in.
Thank you, my child.
Okay. So we'll definitely need to grab quite a variety of things while we're here.
Thank you.
Now, what can I do for you?
It's so nice of you to invite me in.
Ah, but no, Mope. I am always happy to see one of the good fathers.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions, my child?
Of course not, mon père.
Tell me about yourself.
Me? I am Creole. My family has been in New Orleans for over 200 years. Real New Orleanians are French, you see. These days the city is overrun with people with no heritage at all. No offense, Father, but it's true. But the French, naturellement, will always be the true blood of New Orleans.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
The only true New Orleanians are of French origin, you know. My family were among the original settlers of New Orleans. They came here from France. The Creole society used to be so gay in New Orleans. Now it barely hangs on by its fingernails.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
People think I'm just a foolish old woman, but I know the things they do. My family's been in New Orleans since 1750, so I know more than most. Voodoo people are all over this city, in the shops, everywhere. They'll curse you like that, and most people don't even notice. Spit on your bread at the bakery. Take strands of your hair at the store when you try on the clothes. You have to be so careful. But I know their ways, so I can protect myself. I know how to use the magic too, and I can counteract their evil spells.
See.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Voodoo murders? Ha! They are nothing new to me, Father. They happen all the time. I hardly go out anymore. It's too dangerous in the streets. They can get you anywhere, you know. Even here in this room. But I try not to let them know about me. That's the best way.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? They're evil creatures. Did you know that evil people can send them into your dreams? They can. That's why I never sleep.
Right, thanks. What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve? Mais oui! I used to love the St. John's Eve Mass at St. Louis Cathedral. Of course, it is also a night of great wickedness. Worse than All Hallows Eve. They will corrupt anything, Father.
They? They who?
Oh, you know.
Do I not?
Do you have any idea what Cabri Sans Corps means?
Mais oui, I know. I bet you do not, Father, n'est-ce pas?
It means goat without horns.
Oh, Father, you surprise me. You do know what it means. You know what they mean by goat without horns, don't you? A human being. That's right. Slit your throat, cut out your heart. Pure evil murder.
What do you know about human sacrifice?
Do you know anything about human sacrifice here in New Orleans?
My great-grandmother could tell stories. She saw it. Orleans. But the real voodoo queens did it. Oh, yes.
Okay. Tell me about real voodoo queens.
Who were the real voodoo queens?
Well, my great-grandmother told me that Lavaux was just a front, a flamboyant decoy. She distracted authorities from the real voodoo queen of Orleans. It's been the same one for almost 200 years. She's head of a secret voodoo en four. That's what they call the temples, you know. It's so secret, most of the voodoo people in the city don't even know about it. The real voodoo queen controlled Lavaux, gave her a little bit of power, and used her like a puppet.
Speaking of Marie Laveau.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
She was only a front for the real evildoers, father. And that's the truth about Marie Laveau.
Okay.
Do you know anything about Veves?
No, father. I don't know anything about that.
What about animal masks?
Do you know anything about animal masks?
No, father.
Have you ever heard of a Schattenjäger?
No, father.
Okay.
Tell me more about this secret voodoo hound fool.
Well, I've never seen it. I wouldn't go near it if you paid me. But it's here in Orleans, I guarantee it. I hear the drums at night, oh yes. That's why I am so ill. I tell you, those drums. But we shouldn't talk about it. They'll hear us. It's the devil's work that happens there, I can tell you. I'll show you something. Something secret. You mustn't tell anyone, father.
I swear on my collar.
Here it is, mon père. A true object of evil if there ever was one.
It radiates something, alright.
It belonged to my great-grandmother. She told my mother that it was a token to gain entrance to the real voodoo ceremonies.
You don't say.
To tell you the truth, I always felt nervous about having it in the house. You know, evil influence and all.
Oh, I can see how you would, yes.
And yet, I could never part with it. It's been in the family for generations. Would you bless it for me, father? I feel strange asking such a thing of you, but surely you understand.
Bless this bracelet of a snake, even though its vibes aren't great. Let it do nobody harm when they wear it on their arm. Voodoo spirits, go away, don't come back another day. And now, let us pray.
I think that's enough, father.
Oh, right. Here you go.
So we need to wait till...
Gabriel cannot open.
Well, madame, I'm...
Of course.
Okay, so we need something to be able to get that.
I'm not going back on the street looking like this.
We will need the guitar back again.
The banks of Lake Pont.
Okay.
Is that clay? Yuck.
Well, let's go ahead and return. And properly dress up again.
The things I'd... All right.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yes.
So we can come in as long as we have the right attire.
Please be seated.
Thank you.
Now.
Do you mind if I...
If...
Can I see that snake bracelet again?
All right.
Very important to be thorough.
Bless this bracelet of a snake. Let it do voodoo and...
Why do that with...
Do you mind? Can I...
All right. Here's...
Bless this...
Okay.
Gabriel has a thought about the clay.
Bless, oh bless, this circlet of silver. Take the curse, oh take it, Wilbur.
A lovely blessing, mon père.
Yes, I think it made a lasting impression. Here you go.
I feel so much better now.
Well, madame.
Alright. Let's see if we can... Okay, let's see what we have exactly with that.
I'm not going...
We will need to not to crash the next day.
Mr. Knight, you're back. Oh, goody.
Let's see what more we can talk to you about.
And if I... Can you tell me anything about this?
No, I've never seen those symbols. Therefore, they're probably meaningless.
Really? Are you sure?
I am never wrong, Mr. Knight. Therefore, sure is not in my vocabulary.
If you say so.
Can you tell me anything about this pattern?
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. Mind if I copy this?
Be my guest.
Great. I'll be right back. Here you go. You know, this is a fascinating baby. You must tell me all about its origin.
Actually, I was hoping you'd tell me. Can you figure out anything about it from the symbols?
Well, some. That's why I wanted a copy. I want to research the design myself. Each of the symbols in the Veve represents something, a loa, a place. Where did you get this?
Have you heard of the voodoo murders?
No, you're kidding. Really? Then the voodoo is authentic. The newspapers are wrong. Boy, are they wrong.
You think this Veve is authentic, then?
Authentic? Mr. Knight, that's like asking if the Mona Lisa is a painting. Tell you what, I'll look into these symbols myself and see what I can learn about the sect that made this. I'll give you a call when I have more information.
Much appreciated.
You are associated with the police, aren't you?
Absolutely. But I'm
no associated with the police.
You can contact me at the St. George's bookshop in the quarter.
All right. Now, I'd like to get started on this if you don't mind.
Understandably. That does seem to be...
Okay, thanks. Good day.
Because the impression of the snake isn't really going to get me much of anything. Alright, we've avoided seeing grandmother's house, but...
My precious...
let's see what more we can learn from you today.
Can't stay away from you, Gran.
Make yourself at home.
This melody reminds me so much of Don't Dream It, Be It. From the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Can we
Okay.
Do you know anyone named Wolfgang Ritter?
As I said, your granddad's surname was originally Ritter. I never learned much about his family, but from things he said, I always thought he had a brother back in Germany. I don't know if Wolfgang Ritter is related to your granddad or not.
It's almost as much as we can really get. But fair enough. Because you do suppose he doesn't want to know anything more about
well,
the
Gran, I better get going.
matters. She's more exploring the family angle. Otherwise, I've been to the Napoleon house to see if anything changed there. I just realised.
Could I ask you? Have you ever...
Sure. She's kind of the patron saint of voodoo in New Orleans. Don't know too much about her, but tourists sure get off on all that stuff.
Can you tell me anything about a secret voodoo hound fool?
Are you kidding? Around here? Hope they aren't serving drinks.
Well, if they are, I don't think anyone in his right mind would want one. What can you tell me about voodoo?
I'm no expert. You might want to talk to someone who believes in it.
What can you tell...
I'm no...
What can you tell me about your regulars in here?
See those old guys at the chess table? That's Sam and Marcus. They played every day for 20 years. Sam, the one with the purple jacket, he's lost every one of those games. It's not that he's a bad player. I've seen him beat guys twice as good as Marcus. But Marcus has Sam so psyched out, he loses his nerve every time. By the way, Sam, the chess player, He's into that voodoo stuff. He's always talking about spells and gree-gree and stuff.
Really? Thanks. What can you tell me?
I'd call you a regular, Gabe. And one of our local writer celebrities, too. Been coming in here, what, 10 years now?
Don't remind me.
We're still waiting for that bestseller.
Don't hold your breath. What can you...
That's about all I...
Okay.
So what has Sam told you about voodoo?
Well, about 50 years ago, Sam was too shy to talk to this pretty girl he was in love with. He went to a voodooine and had her make him a love charm. It was a little pouch that he had to bury under the girl's front porch. Well, he buried the pouch, and the next day, he went up and talked to the girl. And, sure enough, she didn't reject him. Now she's his wife. Poor guy.
Okay.
But game, this isn't...
He's right, you know, so let me...
Nothing like a good... Oh, well.
Okay.
This is the last page of inventory.
This is the gambling one, right? Yes.
Got a second, Sam? It's about your game.
I don't have a game. That's my problem. Don't you touch those chess pieces while I'm gone, you bastard.
I ain't never needed a cheat yet, you loser.
Thought you might be interested in this gambling oil.
Let me see that. That's the gambling oil. What's it for?
Everyone on Mugs wins up every time?
Get out of here. Marcus would never use something like this.
Well, if that's what you want to believe.
You do believe in voodoo.
This is a powerful voodoo oil.
Ah, go on. Really?
This voodoo oil could make a nun get lucky.
Really? You think it really works, huh?
I'd stake my reputation as a novelist on it.
And you say Marcus uses this. That explains a lot. Let me see that bottle. Oh, this looks authentic.
Oh, it is.
If I could really beat that bastard. Stonewall, give me a Pim's cup, would you?
Coming up, Sam.
How much you think I'd have put in here?
Careful. You don't want to overdo it. Too much luck can be dangerous.
What? There's no such thing as too much. Now stand back.
Come on already. I'm ready to checkmate.
We'll see about that, Mr. Schmuddy Big Mouth. Checkmate! Checkmate, you bastard!
Son of a bitch.
20 years I've been waiting to say that. Checkmate, checkmate, checkmate!
You are the biggest butthead Sam Singleton that I ever met.
Checkmate!
You can just put this chessboard where the sun don't shine.
Hallelujah! I did it! Yippee!
Nice game.
Nice game. Hell, I was brilliant! Course, I gotta give some of the credit to that oil of yours. I've been losing to that guy for 20 years. If you ever need a favor, you come to Sam, you hear?
Will do.
Okay.
Can I ask you...
Look, I'd be glad to help you out, but I'd be...
Okay, I mean...
Gabriel doesn't see a...
Does this mean anything?
Okay.
Does
Nah.
Could you do anything with this?
What is this? A clay mold?
Exactly.
Well, I am a jeweler, you know. And I owe you one. Would you like me to cast this for you?
If you can.
You got it, pal. Actually, it'll be a pleasure to get my tools out. First time in years. I've been too busy playing that goddamn game. I'll have the bracelet tomorrow. Meet me here.
Great, thanks.
It's getting late. Gabriel
Okay, so we
decided to
have
go home for the day.
properly sorted out the core of the day. Very important.
Excuse me. I'm going inside.
Oh, excuse me, I'm afraid St. George's is closed for the day.
I'm not a customer. I'm here to see the owner.
Why don't you just leave your name and number with me, and I'll tell him you stopped by.
Listen, if Gabriel is here, he'll want to see me. Is he here?
Really couldn't say for certain, but in the morning...
Gracie, say goodnight.
Ugh.
You came. I didn't think you would.
I didn't think I would either.
Your eyes. Oh, I could show you around a little. It's not much, but...
Please, don't. I couldn't focus on much of anything right now.
Yeah, I know. God, what is it about you?
Just shut up and kiss me.
Can't believe it worked. I spoke to one who smelled of death. He gave to me his ears, and glosses that were marred were made into a veil of tears.
You're not speaking to me this morning?
Don't be silly. I just have nothing to say.
Did you find out anything about that pattern I gave you?
Yeah, I did find something.
What's out of the window?
I checked the microfiche at the public library. I found an article about a murder in 1810. The newspaper published a part of a pattern found around the body. It looks damn close.
You're incredible. All that work.
Forget it.
Have it your way.
Welcome, Ash. How are you doing today?
Have you noticed this guy outside the shop?
Yeah. He gives me the creeps. I wish he'd go away.
The newspaper clipping. It includes a rough sketch of a... It's a newspaper...
Okay. I'm doing quite alright, thank you for asking. What about you?
Got him.
Okay.
Do you have messages for me?
Nope.
Okay, no messages.
Times-Picayune, dated June 21st, 1993. Gabriel's eye is immediately drawn to an article about the voodoo murders. He scans it quickly.
I don't believe this. They've closed the case.
What case?
The voodoo murders case. The paper says that the police have learned that the murders were the result of an underworld cartel war, and that the war is over.
That's not good.
It's ridiculous. What about the killers? And the voodoo angle, they never got anything on that.
I know you were into it, Gabriel. But if it's over, that's hardly a negative. Anyway, if you're that upset, why don't you talk it over with your pal Mosley?
You don't get it, Grace. Just forget it, okay?
Gabriel decides to check his horoscope, despite his disgust. Death walks close to you today. Resist temptation, lest his eye fall on you too.
Peachy.
I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Which flavour of hole digging are you working on at the moment? Minecraft, Deep Rock, or a game about digging a hole?
I'll be...
Very fair. And how goes the hole digging?
Sam, my man.
Hey there, it's you. I got that bracelet for you. This piece was a real toughie. For some reason, the metal just wasn't setting. I must be out of practice.
Well, it looks good to me. Thanks, Sam.
No problem. By the way, I'm heading out of town tonight.
Yeah, where to?
Marcus used to tell me that if I ever beat him at chess, he'd take me around the world.
The old bastard has enough money stuffed in his mattress to cover the federal deficit, and he hates spending a penny of it. I'm gonna enjoy watching him squirm through every mile.
Sounds like fun. Good luck.
Are you kidding? Luck is my middle name.
Is it not? Sam Lock Singleton? Oh, I suppose actually that does track fairly well. See if anything's changed in some of the other areas. Okay. No one here, nothing new. I'm very glad you're enjoying yourself. Do you have any results on... your research?
Mr. Knight, you're back.
Gabriel cannot...
And if I pick...
Not if it...
Can you tell me any...
I told you I would research it, Mr. Knight.
Do you know any... Orleans?
Well, I don't know anything about a secret hound...
I didn't even design that dialogue. Okay.
I'll be goodbye.
Right, because you said you would call me.
Gabriel
Right.
cannot...
That's on me for being a little bit impatient, and I suppose a lack of leads for the day, really. So I was spoiled for them the previous day. Alright, let's go... around our locales. If anything interesting is going on in any of them. Okay. Nothing new in the cemetery. I'll go to the police station and see what things were figured out. I just walk back without approval? I suppose so.
The bill.
Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, what is it, you wanker?
Alright, what can we learn from you today?
I hate to tell you this, but you're out of a book. The Voodoo Murders case has been closed.
I had a feeling you were going to say that, son of a bitch.
You're the right... Look, the department's not interested.
So, couldn't you make them interested?
With what? I've got 7 bodies and still no leads. The voodoo angle's worthless. And besides, these people aren't hurting anybody but out-of-town drug dealers and hitmen.
The voodoo stuff is not worthless. It's the key to the whole thing. And these people are dangerous. They need to be stopped.
Okay. You want me to reopen this case? Prove what you just said.
What do you mean?
You need to prove there's a legitimate voodoo cult in New Orleans. Prove that they're a threat. Get me a lead on the cult.
Alright, so we are operating solo here.
Have a good one.
No more police assistance. Okay. Let's see what new characters are in the square today.
That's Crash. What the hell is he up to with that drummer?
Okay, you went up, and you could probably be in the cathedral. So let's start there.
There's no...
There's a new person to speak to, get a new selection of leads.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I'm praying. Leave me alone.
I need to talk to you. Ask you some questions.
No way, man. I'm too sick. Let's go away.
Come on. I have to know what you know about these voodoo people.
You don't know nothing about nothing, man. You're so far out of it, you wouldn't understand anything. Just like that friend of yours, Mosley. Just go away.
I'm not like Mosley. I know more than you think I do. I'll believe you.
Forget it, man. It's not worth my breath.
Do you recognize this?
Where'd you get that?
Why? Do you know something about it?
Know something about it? Look at this.
Crash opens his shirt and reveals a tattoo.
It's the same snake.
It's their sign. The mark of the snake. Without it, they'll never let you get close.
The sign of the snake. Right. Your tattoo, my bracelet. Now, do you believe that I know something about these people?
You know about them, I guess.
Actually, ask you questions now.
Will you answer some questions for me now?
Okay. Okay, I'll talk to you a little, but make it fast.
I saw you talking to that drummer. What did you tell him?
You saw me with the drummer? Nobody's supposed to see. Shit! I blew it again. Promise you won't say nothing to no one. It'll get back to him, everything does. Promise me you won't tell anyone you saw me.
Okay, but you have to tell me everything I want to know.
Okay. Okay. I was sending a message, man. Yeah, these rotten drummers posted around the quarter. They see everything. And they report.
How?
The drums, man. It's some kind of code.
Tell me about the
Already.
Yeah, fair enough.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm sick. Dying. Eating a big enchilada. What the fuck else matters?
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Let's focus on things that are important then.
Tell me what you know about a secret voodoo handful in New Orleans.
All right. There's this is an underground cartel in New Orleans. A voodoo cartel. They control everything that happens on the street. I mean everything. Bought or sold. They have their fingers in the legit world too. Banks, foreign stuff, you name it. There's supposed to be this temple. What you said, the Hound Four. That's their headquarters. I heard people say it's underground. Somewhere in the French Quarter. I don't know where.
Have you ever been there?
No. I've never been in it. I'm a nobody. A runner. But I saw them once. Out at the lake. They became animals, man. Beasts. I remember the eyes. Oh, the eyes.
Hey, are you okay?
The eyes. The eyes of the snake.
I think I should go get a doctor. Hey, are you alright?
Someone, I need help.
The eyes of the snake. Dambala.
Oh, what snake? Crash.
Crush spasms twice more, then die as Gabriel was.
Oh, God. Oh, bastard.
It is jarring to watch a man die, possibly of a curse, and walk out and just hear when the Saints go marching in. It is whiplash of a remarkable order.
Gabriel cannot. Saint Louis.
Right. Settle.
I guess I better copy this tattoo.
Alright, let's go ahead and see what else might be going on today.
It's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home for the day.
I mean, fair enough. Not what you really do with the day when you watch a man die.
Hello?
It's me. I can't sleep.
Me neither.
Can I?
Yes. Come.
The road was blocked, the truth was shunned, the white flag had been waved. Reversal cost me all I had and everything I'd braved.
Are you okay, Gabriel?
Sure. Great. Why?
I'm worried about you.
If I were any better, Grace, I'd be dead. Now, what's up?
You got another package this morning. FedEx from Germany.
Alright, there's a priority.
I was expecting that. Where is it?
Well, it kind of came open, but I salvaged the contents. There was a letter from your great-uncle Wolfgang in a journal.
The package just came open, huh? How'd you like the journal?
Someone has to look after you. You're in trouble. In case you don't know it.
Yeah, you've been reading my horoscope again, haven't you, Grace?
Just read the journal carefully, Gabriel. Please.
I got it.
Is that a lead on the...
St. George's books. Oh, Professor Hartridge, I'm glad you called. Did you... You did? Wait, slow down. The Aigri? Really? You think that's them? The wheel within a wheel? A goon badagri, huh? Well, that does sound like it. Dumbala, the snake. That's the wavy pattern at the bottom, okay. The 1791 slave revolt in Santo Domingo. Well, why would the Veve show up there? Okay. Okay. Look, I'll come over as soon as I can. Okay. Relax, Professor. I'm excited too, but you're gonna give yourself a heart attack. Okay. Thanks. See you.
I wish you'd tell me what's going on. I swear you're gonna step into a hole you may never get out of.
Don't look so worried. No one knows what I'm doing. I'm perfectly safe. And I'm getting some great stuff for the book. Besides, there's something about all this. My dreams.
What about your dreams?
Nothing. I'll be careful, I promise.
Okay.
Gabriel reads through the pages Wolfgang marked. He reads of Gunter Ritter's journey to Charleston as witch hunter, hired by the townsmen to solve a series of ritualistic murders. He reads about Gunter's meeting with a beautiful slave woman, Tetelo, and of Gunter's tormenting urges for her.
Oh, bastard.
He reads of their physical union and passion, and of Gunter's investigations into the murders. The victims were all crew members on a certain slaving expedition to Africa, it seemed. The second to the last entry described Gunter's plan to set a trap for the coven committing the murders. He found the name of one of the surviving members of the crew, a man now living in the West Indies. Gunter has spread a false rumor that the man is returning to Charleston. He himself will impersonate a sailor and allow himself to fall into the hands of the coven. Naturally, Gunter has arranged for able-bodied assistants to follow and attack the Coven before they can do him harm.
Olsey's son of a bitch, wasn't he?
Gabriel turns to the final entry of the journal.
Dear Father, I offer these final words of apology for the harm done to our sacred office. The woman I wrote of, Tetelo, was the witch I sought. I have committed terrible crimes. I loved this witch, then betrayed her, and then used our sacred family power to free her and aid her in destroying this colony. The talisman is gone. Tetelo took it. I can but pray for thy forgiveness, for thy swift recovery of the talisman, and that my punishment in hell will be long and bitter. Thy undeserving son.
Gabriel read.
Oh. Olsey's.
Okay.
That doesn't...
I'm out of here.
Don't hurry back.
Okay, we have two main angles we can follow at the moment, both of which in Greater New Orleans. First, since we have new developments around the base, let's start with talking to Grandmother.
My precious.
Can't
Make you.
Granny Ma...
Can we
So many options.
Do you know anything?
Rada drums.
I don't think that's... Does this mean anything?
Sorry.
Okay, so we don't actually follow through with Grandmother here, so it's
Well,
only really following back up with conversation via telephone with another university.
That doesn't...
Hey, Hot Ridge, what's the good word? Hot Ridge? Ah! Oh, God, not again.
That would be a... That would... Something about Hartridge's death mask reminds Gabriel of the way... That would be a...
I'm not I'm not...
Okay.
Dr. Hartridge is on the desk.
These notes look interesting.
Those two... The letters are addressed to Gabriel from Wolfgang Ritter.
Dear Gabriel, please read the enclosed journal carefully. It might help you understand your family's special obligations and our current predicament. God be with you.
Hart...
What?
There is nothing... Before leaving the university...
Okay. If what the follow-ups would be here at home.
Hello.
Really?
No, I can't afford to call Germany again till I've figured more of this out.
Yeah, that's fair, actually. Okay.
Do you have messages for me?
Nope.
Okay.
Rotodrums?
Have you ever heard of Dumbala?
Ooh, no. Makes my skin crawl, though.
Does Ogun Badaikri mean anything to you?
No.
Okay.
Could you do...
Sure.
Could you research Rada drums for me?
Rotodrums? Sure. I don't think we have any books on that topic in the shop, but I'll contact our suppliers. Assuming any of them will extend you any credit.
Tell them it's an emergency.
Uh-huh. I can see where a Rotodrum book would be incredibly urgent. Anything else?
No, that's about it right now.
Okay.
Okay. And what angle does the paper have for me today?
Times-Picayune, dated June 22nd, 1993. Disgusted with the state of the voodoo murder case, Gabriel turns right to his horoscope. The shadow upon you is no longer reversible.
Wonderful.
Hmm. Okay. Fine.
See?
Okay, let's go ahead and walk around and see. On the Gabriel estate, is there anything going on any other locations? Actually, hold on.
Could I have a minute of...
Yeah, go ahead. I don't know what you...
Does the...
I don't know.
Do you know...
I don't know.
Yeah, fair. It's worth checking in, though. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, after all, yes? Hmm. Okay, so Gemma here.
Gabriel can...
Everything's changed in the park. Doesn't seem to be. Yeah, nothing new. What about the cathedral? Oh, hold on. In this case, someone removed Cass's body.
A sign on the front door of Magentiel's home.
Okay.
There's no one.
Can I...
What I know, I wouldn't be talking about with you.
It really isn't the smartest thing to be trying to talk with you, is it? You've not been very open about me, not very open about information at all with me. Okay.
Why is it so dark in here? Dr. John? Hello? Uh-oh.
Hold on.
There's no time for that.
Good day, Mr. Knight.
That thing just tried to kill me.
He did? I am sorry. The museum is closed today, you see, and we were not expecting visitors. But if you will excuse me, Mr. Knight, I must go look for him. He is incredibly valuable.
You don't need to ask twice. I'm out of here. By the way, you might want to lock your door next time you're closed.
Not a bad idea. Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
Hmm. Well, I think we're going to do is try to visit the Casino residence. Put on our disguise and...
Gabriel would not be. Gabriel.
Oh, really? Why is that?
There's no answer. Perhaps Kazunu got even more paranoid than usual and decided to get out of town.
Well, this is a good call and try to figure out a little bit more.
What happened to you?
Who, me? Nothing. Why?
Well, you're kind of a pale green color. Come here.
Pale green, you say? Charming.
What's that on your face?
I'm sure you'll tell me.
Looks like a sparkly or something. Got it.
I love it when you pick stuff off my face, Grace.
Well, excuse me.
Those two... There's nothing written on...
Okay, let's see what was picked off of my face.
There's a snake scale in the ashtray. There's a snake.
Looks like the python left me a souvenir.
So much to compare the two.
Gabriel magnifies the scale from the lake. The iridescent scale is brilliantly hued with greens and purples.
Okay.
Gabriel magnifies the snake scales hued with purple. He placed...
Ah.
I'm out of here.
Good luck.
So we have two matching snake scales. But our snake expert is more out of town. Oh, well, because it's longer crime scene, the warning tape need not apply.
Please select...
Let's see.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
What other two?
No, don't.
What else?
Her tunes on all, cause you may not know this, but some of the real serious voodoo types argue that she ain't in this one at all, but down in an unmarked tune in number 3. It's all the same to me, I say. Save me a lot of cleanup work if she weren't here, if you ask me.
Very fair.
Does this mean...
Sure. I see them...
Gabriel cannot... Those two are...
Let me get these new marks down.
I don't even notice there were new marks.
That object... It's Gabriel's sketch of the new... It's Gabriel checks the two messages for duplicate symbols and transfers the letters from the matches to the new message. He finds that he has the translation for all of the symbols, except for 3.
Okay.
Gabriel doesn't... Those two are... Gabriel gazes at the translation of the second voodoo code message. A few letters are still missing.
Live tonight. Being whipped.
Gabriel.
I think I'll leave a message of my own.
Okay. I don't know what to come up with an entire message.
Mostly night.
I don't have been showing up every day for a bit now.
Unfun.
Can I ask you about the year? Crash is dead.
What are you talking about? I let him go yesterday.
Yeah, and I watched him die yesterday at St. Louis Cathedral.
At the cathedral? Guess he was trying to get a last-minute A-train ticket, huh? Poor bastard.
I think you should go find the body at the morgue. He was killed by the voodoo cult. Crash said.
Crash said? Did he mention pink elephants, too?
Aren't you going to investigate?
Civilians. Did you actually see someone kill him?
No. Actually, I was with him when he died. Could have been poison, though.
Yeah, well, when they get the body in, they'll do a quick autopsy. Standard procedure. If it's anything other than an overdose, I'll get a report. But it won't happen. I know these guys. Lock them up overnight and they tend to overdo it the next day.
Your professionalism is astonishing. There's been another murder. A professor at Dueling.
Oh, Christ, you're not gonna start this again.
Just listen. This guy's name is Hartridge. He was a professor in African studies at Dueling. Yesterday, I went to see him about the voodoo murders case. He agreed to do some research for me. He calls me up this morning, tells me he's onto something big. And when I get over there, the guy's dead.
You know, you're really getting your ass in a sling over this thing, Knight.
It's not about me. Look, Hartridge's death looked just like Crash's. I'm telling you, they were both murdered. And by the same people who did the voodoo murders.
Did either Crash or this new guy have their hearts ripped out?
No.
Then there's nothing to link either to the voodoo murders, M.O. Besides that, the case is closed, Knight. If the coroner's report asks for a homicide investigation on either of these guys, fine. But it's not going to be related to the voodoo murders case unless we find damn good reason to do so.
But I'm the link to the voodoo murders case, don't you see?
Look, if I were you, I wouldn't repeat that to anyone. If I weren't an old friend of yours, I might take you seriously and lock you up. As it is, maybe you should start keeping your mouth shut. Not involve other people with this shit. You think it's so dangerous.
Unless I'm not providing things that...
You know those marks you found around the murder victims? This is a reconstruction of the whole pattern.
What makes you think this is an accurate reconstruction?
Well, I borrowed the partial patterns from your police file and did my own tracing of the pattern at Lake Pontchartrain. An architectural artist reconstructed it for me from the partials.
Really? So this is the whole pattern, huh? Well, that's pretty good work, Knight. But that doesn't prove that this pattern is really connected to voodoo.
The newspaper clip. It includes a... It's... The newspaper...
How about this?
This is a newspaper clipping about a murder committed in 1810. That murder is an exact match of the voodoo murders, right down to the marks around the bodies.
This does sound like the same M.O. 1810?
1810. They killed then, they're killing now. Isn't that proof that they're likely to kill again? That they are a threat?
Sure. If there is a voodoo cult, they're a threat.
Marches the notes.
Take a look at these notes. They're from Professor Hartridge at Tulane University.
Yeah? And what about them?
They confirm that the pattern from the murders is of African origin.
Really? It's incredible, isn't it? Something like that showing up here?
It's been here for quite some time, so it seems.
I'm impressed. Okay, you've convinced me. The murders were done by a legitimate voodoo cult.
Can I ask you about...
You open the case now?
Can I convince...
You still give me a lead.
A lead on the current.
I have these two snake scales. One's from the crime scene at Lake Pontchartrain. The other's from a snake in the Voodoo Museum on Ursulines and Charters.
Is this common? Do they all look alike?
Not at all. They're both constrictor scales, and the coloring is the same. A python's coloring is quite individualistic.
A python?
That's right. Hardly an indigenous snake to Louisiana. Somehow, some way, the Voodoo Museum's python was at the scene of the Lake Pontchartrain murder.
Well, I'd call that a lead, all right. Certainly suggests certain lines of inquiry at the museum. Not bad work, Knight. If we can tie them into this voodoo cult, we just might have something. Okay, I'll reopen the case. I hate to admit it, but you've done some pretty good detective work here, Knight.
Well, you know what they say. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Well, point taken.
Congratulations on digging a hole.
I'll check around the department, but I have a feeling I'm on my own. In fact, I better lock up this office just in case I step on a few toes. Come on.
How did you enjoy your thoroughly dug hole?
Now, lay low and let me handle this.
Yeah, fine.
It's getting...
understand.
Certainly seeing more and more of the dream. That's the talisman mentioned. We need to try to return. Little dagger turned into 3 snakes. And then the night became as day. I glimpsed nature's reddest claw. The face of fear looked back at me as I gazed into the maw. Hmm.
What is it? What's wrong?
Gabriel?
I see it, Grace. Hold on. There's no one in the shop, and I know there's no one in back. It's okay.
Okay. Gabriel, that thing is still barely alive. How could someone do this?
With a knife, maybe?
God, don't even start. We should call the police.
No. I'll take care of it.
But Gabriel...
I said I'll take care of it. Why don't you go get some coffee? I'll have it all cleaned up before you get back.
They know where you live now.
It's gonna be fine. Now go on. Are you sure you don't want to go home? I could close the shop today.
No. I'd rather keep busy. I'll be fine. At least that creepy guy is gone. Ugh. Not that they aren't still watching. Anyway, speaking of keeping busy, we got that book you ordered in this morning. The one on Rada drums.
Right.
Excellent.
Great.
This is...
Okay.
The book contains several pages of Rada drum code. The book...
Gabriel!
I see it. Stay back. It's just an envelope.
I can see that.
Alright, and what does the envelope contain?
Gabriel opens the envelope and finds a note from Mosley and a small brass key. Mosley's note says,
Gabe, I have to go underground with this thing. It runs wide and deep throughout the department and the city board. I'm already being watched. It was suggested I take vacation time, so I am, at least as far as they know. Try to keep out of this. It's too hot for a rookie. Just in case, I'm sending you my office key. You might find some useful things there. P.S. I think this note will look great in the book, don't you? Make sure you save it.
the note is signed, Detective Mosley. There's no one in...
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have messages for me?
Nope. Sure.
Okay, no research to be done.
Do you know any...
Nope.
Okay, so then what about the newspaper?
Times-Picayune, dated the 23rd of June, 1993. Gabriel finds an article about St. Jean's Eve. It It discusses the day's Catholic roots and its adoption by voodoo devotees. In the early to mid-1800s, St. Jean's Eve was celebrated with elaborate voodoo gatherings at Lake Pontchartrain, Bayou Saint Jean, and other sites outside the city. These days, the day is commemorated commercially in some of the local shops, and a few churches still hold a St. Jean's Eve Mass. Despite his better judgment, Gabriel reads his horoscope.
Not your best idea at this point.
You will either die or your life will change forever.
Sure, why not? It is St. John's Eve. They'll be out tonight for sure. But where?
So we have two main
Are you
leads.
gonna be okay here by yourself?
I'll be just fine. Just fix this, okay?
I'm trying, Gracie.
So, first point was visit the police station.
You got no business back there now. Move along.
Sorry.
We need to do that at a later point.
Got a second, officer? I'm here to see...
We don't have a Detective Mosley here.
What? I've seen him all week.
Listen to what I'm saying. We don't have a Detective Mosley on the force.
There's a later point at which...
That doesn't... It's an antique. Gabriel is standing in the lobby of his...
Well... The main lead would be in Lake Pontchartrain. But no one is here. There doesn't like to be anything here. Okay, no new events here.
That doesn't seem...
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
Could I ask you...
Of course.
Goodbye, Dr. John.
Come back again.
Not playing the same things everyone else.
Those two are... Gabriel listens carefully to the drums and opens his radar book to translate.
There's a cool conclave. So you're calling it conclave. We see about translating the... See if that's consistent. Was also Napoleon House as well.
Gabriel cannot hear. Gabriel can.
There's only actually here clearly.
The book. The Gabriel cannot.
There were multiple pages. I'm doing things wrong.
Gabriel.
Oh, okay. I look for an element between these.
If Gabriel's translation of the drum code is correct, there'll be a conclave tonight in the swamp. That must be the bayou.
Okay.
Bayou Saint-Jean seems denser, thicker, darker than Gabriel remembers. In the twilight of heavy growth, everything looks the same.
Okay. So we don't have a way... to navigate this, as far as I can tell.
Lucy.
Oh.
So for now, we'll save things and call it a night. But thank you all very much for joining me. We'll return tomorrow. And we will be wrapping up Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Fathers, one way or another. But in the meantime, let us see where we shall go tonight. Alright. But now I send you forward to Lord Nerosama, who's going to be playing Final Fantasy XIV. Please give them as much of your affection as you can. But until then, please do all that you can to enjoy the remainder of your evening. And as always, take care and good night.